standard. The opponents don't determine our standard. The standard is the standard, and we compete every day.
Week number 11 of this National Football League season. Time for another edition of Cowboys Huddle with Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer here inside the Globe Life studio at the Star in Frisco. I'm Bill Jones, and Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders road trip out west for Monday Night Football this week. And as you all know, it's been a very difficult week here at the Star in Frisco with the passing of Marshawn Kneeland. We want to kick off the show this week talking about Marshawn a little bit, and just let us know what it is that we need to know about Marshawn the man.
Yeah, I mean, Marshawn was just a special, special young man that, you know, will be dearly missed by not just me, but the entire organization, our teammates, his teammates, our players. You know, his spirit was just so playful. Like, he loved everything we asked him to do in terms of whether it was working out, meetings, practice. He just loved it, and he loved being around his teammates, and he had words that he loved to use called one love, and there was so much to love about, you know, Marshawn, and he will truly be missed, but I'm going to miss his spirit, but also his smile. His smile was so contagious it could light up a room.
You're so great talking about Marshawn in your press conference on Wednesday, memorial service on Tuesday as well. But one of the things you said, we don't move on, we move forward. And as we sit here recording this show today, you're about to go out on the practice field for the first time after the bye week. Just 3 or 4 days to go before playing a game on Monday night. How important are these next 3 or 4 days to get your team ready for the business of playing a football game?
Yeah, Bill, I think, you know, our players are ready to get back on the field. You know, we're all still grieving in our own ways. Football is a great distraction. We love playing football. We love being together. We're stronger together than we are apart. But again, you know, what I said, I mean. We're not moving on. We love Marshawn, he'll be part of us, but the way we can honor him is to go and play well, perform well, and have a lot to celebrate, hopefully, against the Raiders.
And starting with the game on Monday night, this team plays 3 games in the span of 11 days, 4 games in the span of 18 days. What's the challenge of that? What's the key to being ready to play this stretch now?
Well, the physical side of it is one thing. You know, you have to be intelligent by the way you practice. You know, so this week of practice is important because, again, this is kind of not our last live reps for the next couple weeks, but it will be probably our heaviest week of reps that are live. That's part of it. The mental side of it's important as well. You can't continue to do too much when you have a short week to prepare and you can't practice. You have to be smart with how much volume and things you put in. We'll, you know, really truly feature things that we own that we've been doing from day one of training camp. That's a big part of it. But our players are prepared, and they're excited about this stretch, and they know this stretch provides us a chance to take a big step towards our pursuit of the playoffs.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of Cowboys Huddle. Up next, it's Will McClay as we take an up-close look at those Las Vegas Raiders.
Cowboys Huddle with Brian Schottenheimer, powered by Reliant, is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Ford, your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, what would you like the power to do? And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly.
Welcome back to Cowboys Huddle as Will McClay joins me. Bill Jones now. We got the telestrator here. We're going to take an up-close look at these Las Vegas Raiders starting on the offensive side of the ball. And how about we start with the tight end. He's listed as a tight end, but he's really more like a wide receiver. His name is Brock Bowers.
Or a running back. They give him the ball there, too. We're going to look at Brock Bowers here in a couple of things. What he is an extremely talented player. You're going to look at him here in the slot. All right, they're going to go 3 by 1. He's going to run wide receiver routes. They're going to see man coverage. They see single high. They're going to see the alignments. These guys got these guys man to man. He's got him. All right, they're going to run sort of a pick play, but then you're going to see his ability to first set up the DB and then the run after the catch. That's a wide receiver move right there. And then once it gets in his hands, the acceleration. he's going to be a problem.
112 catches last year, his rookie year in the league. So here we take another look at Bowers as he's split out wide this time.
Yeah, they give you a unique little group to worry about. They're in 12 personnel. It's 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, all right? But now we're going to have Bowers here. They're going to break the formation, and then he's going to be lined up to the single side by himself as a receiver. So now it's man-to-man coverage. Who do you cover him with? A corner, a linebacker, a safety? He's got size mismatch, plus he's got the speed. But this is a great look at him. This is a back shoulder throw to a tight end in the red zone with a one-hand catch.
Man, unbelievable. All right, running back, Ashton Jeanty, rookie out of Frisco Lone Star High School in Boise State, number 2 right here.
Yeah, what he is an explosive back. He's got great contact balance and vision. Here, this is going to be a great example of it. He's right here, but they're going to run a stunt here. They're going to come inside here, and the ball's supposed to go front side, but this penetration stops it. But let's watch his reaction here, his peripheral vision to see this, and then we'll see it here. All right. Now, the jump cut, and then he gets outside, and then his ability to finish runs.
And we got another example of Ashton Jeanty in the hole here.
All right, they're going to run a zone scheme here. They'll give you a lot of this motion. The motion will make the linebacker go there. It'll make the front move over. That sets up angles. But the key to this is his patience and then his ability to get to the second level and take it to the house. You'll see here, and then he's going to get to the hole, and there's going to be a pause to set up the block for 66. He pauses just a sec. Now, the ability to accelerate, run through arm tackles, and then take it the distance. We talk about contact balance. There it is.
All right, let's go to the defensive side of the football and big number 98, Max Crosby.
Max Crosby's amazing. He's a defensive lineman that plays over 90% of the snaps, run, pass, everything. Extremely disruptive. You're going to look at him here. I just showed a play there of their offense. You're going to have a defensive end. He's going to come in here and penetrate. He's going to cancel out 3 gaps, and he's going to make a play in the run game with his motor, his instincts, and his anticipation getting off on the snap. All right, he sees the alignment there. They got 3 tight ends. He beats them across the face, and there's a one-man tackle, 3 guys blocking him there.
So not just a pass rusher, he defends the run too, and he can pick off passes too.
Yeah, 5 sacks, a forced fumble, 6 pass deflections, and an interception. Here, they're going to run a game here, all right? So we're going to start it here. We've got the tackle here. He's going to set it up, and then he's going to penetrate to run a game inside. But the key is when we tell defensive linemen, if you can't get there, get your hands up.
He's got that long reach here, and it's on evidence right here.
A great get-off starts it, and then he sets it up. Now, hands up, and then the hand-eye coordination to intercept the ball. He's making plays in the run game, sacking the quarterback, and getting interceptions.
All right, just some things to look for with the Las Vegas Raiders. Our thanks to Will McClay. And Cowboys Huddle continues in a moment. We meet a member of the coaching staff when we come back.
This segment was brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly.
Welcome back to Cowboys Huddle here inside the Globe Life studio at the Star in Frisco. I'm Bill Jones. Time to go behind the Star now as we introduce you to Cowboys Assistant Special Teams Coordinator Carlos Pulk.
Carlos Pulk, Special Teams. Played at the University of Nebraska, then got drafted by the Chargers, and actually played for Shotti's dad with the Chargers, and then ended my career here with the Cowboys, and then I got into coaching. I've been coaching ever since. You know, it was really fairly simple for me to get into coaching. I always felt like I was a coach on the field when I was a player. And, to me, coaching special teams, it was really a part of who I am, of, always wanting to do something, always want to contribute in some way. And I played special teams when I was a player, then just easily transitioned into coaching. As a player, I really felt I hated meetings because they were long, they were boring. So when I got into coaching, I'm like, my meetings aren't going to be long and boring. I'm going to make it fun, make it interactive. You can't just sit there and talk about X's and O's the whole time. You got to really bring a meeting to life. With the younger guys, it's really just, really cracking down on the details. And a lot of these guys haven't played special teams in college because they're a star in college, but when they come to the league, they have to, find a place. And for me, special teams can help you find that place. My philosophy, just keep it simple. Let the guys go out there and run and hit and just do what they normally do. The more you can take off a player and let him be who he is, the better he's going to play for you. So that's the way I was when I was a player. You tell me what to do, I'll find a way to get it done. When I'm not coaching, my passion is working on old cars and woodworking. My father was a construction worker, so, a carpenter, so he really taught me to do things for myself. So, it's something that I like to do, and it helps me clear my mind, and, you can just focus on the details of what you're doing and staying engaged right there. I got a 6'4" Impala that I rebuilt from the ground up. I call her Lucille. Being in California, that was a car. As a kid, I always wanted one of those old school cars, and my dad was a old school car guy, so it just trickled down into me.
Carlos Pulk, something of a legend at the University of Nebraska, where he is in the Cornhusker Hall of Fame. Back on Thursday, the Cowboys players returned to the practice field here at the Star, and after practice, we had a chance to hear from them reflecting on the life of Marshawn Kneeland.
Marshawn meant the world to us, as a brother. As I said at the vigil on Monday night, is people don't understand. We're all teammates. We may not be best friends, but we're all brothers. And just to lose someone like that who brought so much joy in the room, always a smile on his face. Always enjoying the time. Every time he made a big play, you could see the smile through his helmet. Someone who held the standard every day and how he worked. Always run to the ball. Always working his tail off in every aspect of the game, someone who didn't take each day for granted, and to have that spirit and that just person missing in your room, it's devastating.
Slowly but surely, he would start to open up to me a little bit, and one of the people, one of his people after the vigil told me, he's kind of secluded. He doesn't really say too much. Very private guy. If he opened up to you, that meant he loved you. And I know, and he even told me. I asked him. I was like, man, you don't really talk to too many people. It's yeah, I kind of like to just keep things low key. I only talk to certain people. Keep things real tight.
Very loving, contagious guy. I know that, right? It's been noted, right? His saying was one love, and I think you just felt that. You felt that aura. You felt that demeanor. You felt him carry that, and that's everything that he did. The way he played this game, the way he took care of his body. He did that like a veteran. He was a professional. He was much more of a professional than a lot of young guys that I've seen throughout the league, and doing everything that you need to do the right way to make sure you're available. And Marshawn did that, and very loved. He'll be missed. Definitely not forgotten, and we're going to move forward. We're going to move forward to carry on his legacy, and just everything that we can do, just trying to do it to the best we can.
This segment is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com.
Welcome back to Cowboys Huddle here inside the Globe Life studios at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones now rejoined by head coach Brian Schottenheimer, taking a close look at this matchup with the Raiders on Monday night. Let's start with the head coach, Pete Carroll, a guy that you have said is one of your biggest mentors in your coaching career. You spent 3 years with him with the Seahawks from 2018 to 2020. What's it like now going up against him as a head coach?
Well, again, he's the ultimate competitor, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see him, and there's a lot of guys on that staff that I know, but Pete's had a huge influence on me and my style and the way I approach this position of being the head coach of the Cowboys. But again, you can see him putting his fingerprint on the team. That's real. And it's going to be a fun game. And anytime you play Monday Night Football, I can remember being a kid and hearing the music and you're just getting amped up. And it'll be a rocking environment.
Your coaching style kind of, I see some Pete Carroll, and you hope to have as much energy at 74 as what Pete Carroll has, right?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I'll be doing this at 74. I don't know if he felt like he'd be doing it at 74, but I mean, there's just so many great stories of being around Pete, and I can't wait to see him chomping on that gum on the sidelines.
All right, let's talk about their offense a little bit. Of course, Chip Kelly is their offensive coordinator, and how about that tight end, Brock Bowers?
Yeah, special player. You know, we did a lot of work on him a couple years ago when he came out, but the talent, the speed, the acceleration, he's like a running back playing tight end, so he's got incredible ball skills, but he's obviously got the ability for run after catch, and the hidden yards that show up with him is an incredible, difficult matchup problem for us. And I think I know a few things about their quarterback too, being around Geno in Seattle. He's one of my favorite people I've ever been around. And again, you talk about a guy who knows how to throw football. It's Geno Smith.
And we're familiar with that running back too. Ashton Genty from just down the road at Lone Star High School in Frisco, 6th pick in the draft. Pretty impressive guy, isn't he?
Amazing. And I love the young man. I thought he was great. You're not surprised to see him having the success that he is. Again, he's running hard. And again, he has such a bright future because of the talent, but really it's more the person that gets you to know that he'll reach his maximum potential.
They apparently like local products on that team because Colleyville Heritage High School grad Max Crosby is a guy that you have to contend with. You look at Max Crosby and what he's done in his career as a 4-time Pro Bowler. The tackles for loss is what stands out as much as anything. He's got 119 tackles for loss in 104 games played in his career.
Yeah, he's so disruptive, Bill. I mean, you watch the guy play. Another stat that I saw literally right before I walked down here was he's leading their team in passes defensed. So think about that. It's usually the DBs or the safeties that are knocking balls down at the line of scrimmage. It's not. It's Max Crosby. And he I love the motor the guy has. I mean, the way the guy plays is he plays it the right way, and that's what you love about the guy. And he is a force that we have to try to neutralize the best we can.
All right, we wrap up this edition of Cowboys Huddle in just a moment with Shotti's Shot for this week.
This segment was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com.
Final couple of minutes here of Cowboys Huddle. Bill Jones with the head coach Brian Schottenheimer, and it's time for Shotti's Shot for this week. Got some guys that have been activated this week from injuries. So how about Britt Brown as your guy, the director of rehab for this team for going on 3 decades now?
Yeah, someone told me that Britt started here in 1996. Actually, that's when I was graduating college, winning national championships, by the way.
University of Florida.
Yeah, but I mean, Britt is, he and Jim Maurer, I mean, they're just, the entire training staff's incredible. What they do for these guys, the amount of time they spend here trying to get these guys back. What I love about Britt is he's a little bit of a throwback. He's going to love on the guys, but boy, he's going to push them. And you see the things he does with the bungee cords, getting these guys back. You see great, him and Marist have an interaction right there. Just very calming force. But the players know not to mess with Britt, and I love that about him.
And you hear players when they come back from injuries, they have such an appreciation after the fact for what Britt Brown, the work he's done with them. You got a couple this week, and DeMarvion Overshone, Savone Revel as well, who have been activated. They're itching to get back on the field, right?
Yeah, no question. We're excited. We get a lot of guys back that are excited to come back. And again, people don't realize how much time and effort they put into their rehab. They don't get days off. The players do, but the guys that are injured, guys like Vaughn, guys like Malik Hooker, Demo coming back, those are the guys that they don't get to take time off. And they're here with Britt and Jim and the entire staff working incredibly hard.
All right, Britt Brown, Shotti's Shot for this week. Coach, we appreciate it. Good luck in Vegas on Monday night. We appreciate all of you joining us here for Cowboys Huddle this week, and we will see you again next week.
Cowboys Huddle with Brian Schottenheimer, powered by Reliant, was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Ford, your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys.